Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kamila Stępień-Kutera and I welcome you warmly in our competition studio. My guest today is Ms. Erika Worth, the editor of Pianist magazine.
Hello.
Hi. There are a lot of media during the competition here, also from abroad and from all the country. Especially in finals, we can host here many important journalists. For me, it is always interesting what shall be the function of music critics during such a special venue, because it's not a concert, it's a competition for very young people.
Well, first of all, as a critic, we are here to give our own opinion, but it has to be, of course, on a well-assessed view. I myself am only here for the final, so I haven't heard all the rest. I've been watching them a bit on television. But so we have to give an assessment here and now of what we've just heard of the last half an hour of each performance. So it has to be, that's what a critic does. They have to go to a concert, they have to give their opinion based on what they've just heard. But it's also fascinating that we've heard the same concerto again and again and again. Last night, 4 concertos, same concerto, and that's very, very interesting from having actually heard different concertos of the finalists.
Are you giving your assessments immediately during the competition? It's nothing wrong with, for example, giving some opinions about the contestants who are still waiting for the effect?
I've been listening, so I have a few little assessments already, but I like to go in there and just listen to the moment. I'm just here for the finals. Whether that's right of a critic or wrong of a critic, I mean, the jury are here the whole time. We should admire that and respect that, but I'm here, and the minute I hear one, I'll make my little notes, and I won't change them very much after I've made my notes. Then I'm on to the next, and on to the next, and at the end of the evening, last night I went back to my hotel and made brief notes on those 4 I heard last night. And I won't change them, I don't think. I won't be swayed by what I hear tonight and the night after.
Our audience, especially online audience, is discussing every day about the performances. And people are giving their opinions, of course, because the music is so emotional and intuitive that almost everybody can tell if he likes it or not. But to give a measurable opinion, I suppose we need some competences, special competences. Do you agree? And do you think what competences do we need to make reasonable assessment?
I think as a critic, you have to know the field you're writing about, whether it be art, music, ballet. I've studied music, I'm a pianist, albeit nowhere near the level of these, and I think it can help, although there are fantastic music critics, opera critics, for example, who are not singers, but you have to know very much what you're talking about, because your readers want to learn from an expert, they want expert advice. And to know the repertoire is a great help, and to know Chopin, it's such a competition, to know the repertoire of Chopin and the Chopin style and what Chopin wanted out of his music is a great help. You need to know that to inform your readers and your listeners.
So you can be very engaged Chopin lover, watching the whole competition via internet, but sometimes it is good to know what professionals are thinking about it.
I think so, and also I think audiences and people all over the world can become a little emotional. They will have their favorite maybe from day one, and whether it be the nationality or the way that person performs maybe exuberantly or more elegantly, there's a lot of personal issues that maybe come in, and I think as a critic you have to step back from that, and your experience, your expertise comes first. It's not good to listen to all these people give their opinions. It's not to say their opinions are not valid and full of feeling and understanding of their own. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who are watching, who have played these pieces, who also know how to be a pianist,
And a very special case is the jury, because their opinions are the most important during the competition. But very often we don't agree with the opinions. Did you have such situation in your life that you did not agree with jury's
Of course,
opinion?
I think we all have. I don't think we can go through life and not disagree. We all have our own opinions. However, at this competition, you've got 17 jury members that we have to respect first. They've been here the whole time. They know their Chopin. They know that they're pianists. They're way up, the highest professionals. So I think whatever they decide, we have to respect that and analyse that. And I think what's so great about this competition is that you get to see the remarks afterwards, how they judged, which I think is really interesting. And they give feedback. It doesn't mean to say I can't have my own opinion, and who I think is going to win might not be what 17 jury members think, but I think we have to appreciate they're at the top of their field, and we have to respect that. And what they're looking for is also a Chopin player as well. It could be the case that somebody thinks the person that came second should have won, but maybe that person who came second is a fantastic pianist, but maybe not in the world of Chopin. So there's so many things they have to take into account, and they spend many hours on that, so we have to respect that. But I will have, I obviously will have my own opinion, and then there'll be a critic next to me who has a different opinion. It'll be amazing if all 5 critics have the same opinion,
I find it very hard, in fact, because we have the competition. We want to have points. We want to measure every performance. But at the same time, we all know that we can have different opinions because everything is so relative with music. How to manage with it?
I think you have to think, who do I want to hear again? Who really held me? Who made my hair stand on end? I think that's so important. Even thinking about those moments when you've been in concert halls all over the world and you've sat there and you've had that special moment. And I think if 1 or 2 or 5 of these pianists, well, that's hard. If all 6 of them give you that, then that's hard. But it is that special, unique thing, that doesn't happen very often. That's what we're all looking for, and we're looking for that. We're positive, we want to feel that, and I think if we find that pianist that gives us that special moment, at the end of the day, it's the musician, it's that inner talent that they're born with.
Do you observe that the function of music critics changes, because we have now this big wave of social media? Maybe some years earlier, people did not have so many occasions to express their point of view, and they rather had the contact with the opinions of professionals. And now?
That's very interesting, actually. Yeah, there are maybe too many opinions going around and around. I think that's why some of the critics, if there's top critics, you stick with them, you follow them, whether it's a paper you read, a certain national paper, you like that critic. I mean, I'm not really a critic, I'm an editor of a piano magazine, so, but there are critics that I always think, I'll read what he has to say, because I value what he said in the past. I don't think it's great all the time to rush to social media and read that one, because it just actually confuses. If you want expert advice, go to those critics that you admire. I don't know, even speak to your piano teacher as to what they think. Speak to those people that you really, really think know, rather than just going all over the internet like crazy.
Do you think that people still need such authorities, or there's this kind of crisis?
No, I think they do. I think it's really important. I'm trying to think, it's like if you're trying to build a house, if you don't have expert advice, like I can paint a bit and build bricks, but you need the expert to show you how. And I think you need the critic to educate you in a way, that's what keeps culture alive, is by having the experience of those professionals. You want to learn every day. It's really important to have the experts and professionals there to help you learn more.
How does it look in UK? Is the field of music critics developed? Are there many, for example, professional opinions in the daily newspapers?
Yes, absolutely. And we've got wonderful critics, and they've been there a long time. I mean, you know, I really respect the critics there. There's a few online resources one can go to too, but we've got the national newspapers, and, you know, I read most of them at the weekends and flip through them during the week. But yeah, we've got some very good critics that I really respect. So it's strong on music, classical music culture in Britain, in the UK.
Are people interested in classical music? Is this... yeah,
I wish they were more.
Because, you know, it is also the kind of maybe stereotype that the popular culture is stronger and stronger, and the classical music has not many lovers as before, but maybe...
There should be more. There always should be more. And I think it all comes with education and being taught when you're young that classical music is so important. And, you know, it wouldn't be great if we all had a piano or an instrument at home that our parents made us learn, and it was just part of our lives. Sadly, I don't think that is very much the case in the UK. Mm-hmm. I think that's to do with the government, you know, and I can't really get involved with that, but we need that everyday feeling that classical music is not unusual or for the elite or for the boring types or the stereotypical classical musician. It should be just like any other. It should be like pop music. It should be up there. Yeah. And I wish it was, because it's just so fantastic. And it should be all part of all our lives.
Who is among the readers of your magazine? Are these amateurs or professionals only?
Mainly amateurs. I'd say 80% amateurs, 20% professionals. They are people who have most probably gone to a certain level of learning the piano, and they're now doctors or lawyers or housewives, and their big passion is the piano. They studied when they were young, they gave up along the way, they go to concerts, they want to improve their piano playing, and they're very excited about something like this. Aspirational, you know, they think it's fantastic, and they're immersed in the world of piano music, not up there as a professional, but it's part of their lives, and we want to find more of those readers, and I'm sure they're out there, because so many people learned the piano when they were young. Mm-hmm. It's the most popular instrument, I think, most probably in most countries in Europe. So that's our typical reader, amateur, middle-aged. That's our typical reader.
And what about Chopin in the repertoire of young pianists? Because we had here the candidates from UK, and for example, Ullmann did pretty well through the competition, although he did not pass to the finals. Is there a big or not big interest in that competition, in that repertoire among young pianists?
I think there's a big interest in the competition, definitely. And Chopin is always, I think, one of the most... I did a reader survey recently in my magazine, and Chopin came out #1. That's their favourite composer to learn and to listen to, which I found remarkable because it's very challenging to play Chopin. I don't know with regards to the conservatoires how keen they are that I think they all have to learn Chopin, of course. Whether they learn Chopin to a level that they learn in Poland or America or Asia, I don't know. It's sad that there were only 1 or 2 people from the UK who entered and didn't get very far, but there's such great training in other parts of the world, you know, where people start so young with such high training, learning all the Chopin etudes before they're 10. It's a great way to get started. I wish I'd have learned them all before I was 10. So, but Chopin is taken very, very seriously, and this is a very important competition for pianists in the UK, absolutely.
And let's come back once more to the popularizing the classical music. Do you try to broaden your publicity, the readers of your magazine? Do you try to make something to attract new readers?
I try not to make, I try to show that classical music is accessible. I try not to be too elite in the way I write, in the way that my writers write. I want people to feel as if they're welcome. You know, when we know what we're writing about, we don't want to be aficionado, we want to be open to everyone. We do want classical music to be more accessible, and there are some great pianists out there who might not be the top pianists in the world, but they are very, you know, they attract people to classical music. That's very important too, you know. So we have to do everything we can, but still keep the standard high. We can't drop the standard. That's why I think critics are important, because they can then go back and tell you what the good level is. Mm-hmm. But I think it's very important to get the public to love classical music as much as we can, really.
For me, it's a very hard question, because here also in Chopin's Institute, we are thinking a lot about how to show people that it is interesting and important what we are doing, what Chopin did. One can think that with such a composer we shall not have any problems, but still the audience is smaller and smaller for every day, not during the competition. I wonder, what shall we do in
I still think it's education, though. If we're taught in school that Bach was really, you know, cool, oh, but not cool, but his life was really interesting, or if we're taught that some of these composers are really, we learn a lot about them as human beings, maybe their place in history, it could make people more interested then in studying the music of Bach and Chopin. I think you have to get people when they're young. I think that's really important, but it is very difficult. I mean, yeah, I mean, get Lang Lang to play at the Olympics, that's great. He can play a famous classical piece at the Olympics. Yes, that's a way forward too. That will bring in new audiences too, it's very important. Get it out wherever you can.
But to keep the standard, don't you think? Because
we have to keep the standard.
There are some actions like showing Chopin in the sportswear or something like this.
Yeah, it's really, really difficult keeping the standard. Yeah, I think we all have to study classical music more, and like literature, like art. Maybe, I don't know, the world of literature and art, are the numbers falling more as well there? I don't know, but why shouldn't more people be enjoying classical music? I don't know. I really don't know. In the concert halls, yes, there's a lot of older people, you know, still. We need the younger people as well, but it's difficult. We all talk about this.
Such a big event as Chopin competition is maybe the good occasion to catch the new listeners, new audience, I suppose, but I am a little bit afraid that after the competition the tension will go lower.
It's very specialist though, isn't it? I mean, you're not going to get the average, unless it's on national television. I mean, in the old days, it's sad, of course, the Leeds piano competition used to, or I'm trying to think, the proms, the concerts were on every night. I might be wrong here, but of course the Leeds competition itself was on national television, live coverage, the finals, I know that, both nights. I don't know about the Chopin competition here, if it's on national television or if it's just on, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay, so
yes,
that's great.
And national radio also.
Fine, so that's great. I think it would be great that the television companies and the radio companies invested more money in classical music, put on more programs about the lives of the composers, concert pianists today, what they get up to, conductors. And we have them sporadically, but they don't advertise them that much too. So they go by, and we half people don't even know they've been on. just, yeah, we need to speak to those people at the top of these big corporations. But if we're going to, will we get the viewership or the readership? So it's a vicious circle.
I'm really interested in what is going to happen after the competition. I hope very much that we'll keep this new publicity with us, maybe, and after showing that Chopin is something important in lives of such a young, beautiful, enthusiastic people, I very much count on it. My guest was Ms. Erika Worth from Pianist magazine. Thank you very much.
Thank you.